Hello, dear Nmms aspirants. Welcome to Tej Academy. I am Nandan from Tej Academy. In today's session, I will discuss some important questions on the chapter Physical and Chemical Changes from class 7. I hope this session will definitely help you to score very good marks in your upcoming Nmms examination. As I already told in the previous session, in our Tej Academy app, we are launching a Nmms 2025 test series. You can enroll to this test series by downloading our Tej Academy app using Google Play Store, and you can get more benefits. It will definitely help you to score a very good marks in your Nmms examination. If you have any doubts or any queries, you can contact to this number. Feel free to contact us. And let us begin today's session. The question number 1 says that which of the following is an example of a physical change? So dear students, before going to see the options, what is physical change and what is chemical change? Physical change is a change in which no new products or substance new products or substance will form, and it may change in size, shape and state. So it may change in size, shape and state. Whereas chemical change is in which new products or substance will form with new properties. It will form a new products or substance with new properties. So here option A, we will see option A, setting curd from milk. So here what in the previous session I explained in the chapter acid, bases and salts. In milk, there is a sugar called lactose, which is converted into lactic acid. Here lactose is converting into lactic acid. New product is forming. So that is a chemical change. And storing of milk, it is also a chemical change. And dissolving sugar in water, so it is a physical change. We will discuss after seeing the option D. Burning of magnesium ribbon, it is a chemical change, because if you burn magnesium in presence of oxygen, it will form a new product called magnesium oxide. So it is a chemical change. So option C is a correct option. Dissolving sugar in water. So sugar is in the form of solid. So whereas when it is dissolved in the water, it will convert into liquid form. So there is a change in state only. There is no formation of new product here. There is no change of properties of a substance here. So that's why option C is the correct answer. That is a physical change. I hope this question is clear for all of you. Then question number 2 says that a change in which one or more new substance are formed is called a. So I already explained, in which new substance is forming, that change we will call it as chemical change. So if in any process, if new substance, if it is forming, then we will call it as chemical change. So it cannot be a physical property, it cannot be a physical change, also it cannot be a reversible change. All physical change or reversible change. So that's why it is also not possible. The correct option is option D, that is chemical change. Then we will move on to the question number 3. Question number 3 says that in a physical change, which of the following properties of a substance are altered? I already explained in the question number 1. Physical change can have a alteration in size, shape and state. So it can change its size, from smaller to bigger or bigger to smaller. It can change its shape, so square to circle or circle to square or any other shape, and it can change its state from solid to liquid and liquid to gas or gas to solid, solid to gas or liquid to gas, any change. So these type of alteration can allowed in the physical change. So chemical composition will be occurs in the chemicals change, and it is not only shape and size, it can have a state change also, and new substance is formed. So this is the condition for chemical change. So the correct option is option C, that is shape, size and state. I hope this question is clear, dear children, and we will move on to the question number 4. The process of depositing a layer of zinc on iron to prevent rusting is called. Dear students, if iron comes to contact with water and oxygen, so there will be a formation of rust. That is nothing but your Fe2O3, which is given in your textbook. So to prevent this rusting, we will coat a layer of zinc here around the iron. So why we have to keep that zinc? To prevent from the rusting. It will prevent from the process called rusting. So this process, dear children, please remember the word, that is galvanization. So the process of depositing a layer of zinc to iron in the essence of prevent of rusting. So that is nothing but your galvanization. So I hope this question is clear. We will move on to the question number 5. So question number 5 says that rusting of iron requires the presence of both carbon dioxide and water, iron and rust, oxygen, water, salt and paint. So dear children, please remember if iron reacts with oxygen and water, then only there will be a formation of rust. So until that, there is no formation of rust. It should be comes to contact, or if it is in the presence of oxygen and water, then only the rusting will happens. So that's why the correct option is oxygen and water. Instead of water, there will be a water vapor also. So we can say that water or water vapor also. So carbon dioxide and water, it is not a correct option. Iron and rust also not a correct option. And when it comes to salt and paint, that is also not a correct option. So the correct option is oxygen and water. So next we will move on to the question number 6. When magnesium is burnt in air, the powdery ash formed is a new substance called. So it is a one reaction. It is a chemical change which is occurring. So magnesium, you are burning it in air, that is nothing but oxygen. It will convert into magnesium oxide. Dear children, it is a reaction, very important. You have to remember this. If magnesium reacts with oxygen, it will form magnesium oxide. That is nothing but your powdery ash, which you are getting as a product. So the product which is forming here is magnesium oxide. It is not a magnesium carbonate. It is not a magnesium hydroxide. It is not a magnesium sulfide also. So that correct option is magnesium oxide. Now we will move on to the question number 7. Which of the following is generally a reversible change? I already in question number 2, I think I explained that all physical change can be a reversible change. How? I will illustrate with an example. So if you take ice cubes in a beaker, if you supply some amount of heat, it will convert into water. Is it not? So it is in the state of solid, it is in the state of liquid. So this is one reaction, it is one process. If you keep this liquid to freeze, then it will convert into, again it will convert into ice cubes. So here the process, the change is reversible. So all physical change are reversible change. I hope this question is clear. So the correct option is what? Physical change. So the reversible change is nothing but physical change. So then we will move on to the question number 8. When carbon dioxide gas is passed through lime water, it turns milky. This milky appearance is due to the formation of. Here they are asking about the reaction. It is given in your textbook. That reaction is very important. When a calcium lime water. What is lime water, dear children? What is lime water? Lime water is nothing but your calcium hydroxide. It is nothing but your calcium hydroxide. So if you treat this with carbon dioxide, if excess of carbon dioxide is passed through lime water, calcium hydroxide, it will form a calcium carbonate along with water. It will form calcium carbonate along with water. So in this reaction, we will get a product calcium carbonate. So the appearance of milky color, it is due to the formation of calcium carbonate. So if you pass carbon dioxide to the calcium hydroxide, there is a formation of calcium carbonate, which will be the reason for appearance of milky color in your solution. So the correct option is calcium carbonate. Calcium carbonate. So we will move on to the question number 9. The change in color of a copper sulfate solution from blue to green upon adding an iron nail is due to the formation of. So this is also one of the important activity which is given in your textbook. Here they are taking copper sulfate CuSO4 and they are dipping an iron nail, or you can dip iron rod, or you can dip a used blade. So that will convert into FeSO4, ferrous sulfate or iron sulfate along with the copper. So the copper sulfate, initially it will be in the form of blue, it will turn to green because due to the formation of ferrous sulfate. So the change of color from blue to green, it is due to the formation of ferrous sulfate, or it is nothing but iron sulfate. So I think this question is clear for all of you. We will move on to the question number 10. Which accompanying event is not necessarily a sign of chemical change? So change in smell, production of sound, change in physical state, production of heat or light. So dear students, you observe these A, B, D options. In all the three options, we can observe some chemical change. Whereas they're clearly saying that in option C, physical state, that is nothing but liquid to solid or solid to liquid. So that is a sign for physical change only. This is not the sign for chemical change. So the correct one is change in physical state. That is the example. For example, they even for solid to liquid, they can change from liquid to solid or solid to gas or gas to liquid, liquid to gas. Any change, any physical state change. So the correct option is option C. Now we will move on to the question number 11. Match the process with the type of change. Like this, you will get definitely one question, because if you observe a previous year question papers, you can observe like this, match the following questions with process and the type of change. Very important type of question it is. So burning of coal. So there will be, if you burn a coal, there will be a production of heat. So and it is a chemical change. It is a chemical change. So first option is it can be chemical change. It is a chemical change. Melting of wax. So it is a physical change. Melting of wax is a physical change. So it will convert into liquid form. So then digestion of food. What is digestion of food? Converting complex substance into simpler substance. There will be a production of energy. So that's why it is also an chemical change. So one is relating with 2 and 2 is relating with 1 and 3 is relating with 3. So the correct option is option B. So dear children, you make it one correction. Here it is a 3. So 3 is related with 3. So the correct option is option B. I hope this question is clear here. Please don't confuse with the given option. Here one is related with 2, that is chemical change, and 2 is related with 1, that is physical change, and 3 is related with 3 only, that is chemical change. So here make some correction, that is 3. 3 is related with 3. So sorry for the inconvenience. And question number 12. Identify the odd one out based on the nature of change. Here you can observe that photosynthesis, fermentation of grapes, explosion of firework. So these three options are, these three changes are chemical changes. These three are chemical changes, whereas the option 4, crystallization of copper sulfate, where you are getting the crystals of copper sulfate which is in a liquid phase, you are converting into solid phase. So you are converting into solid phase. So that's why it is a physical change. So the rest 3 are chemical change. So the correct one is option D. Next, we will move on to the question number 13. A change in which both physical and chemical changes takes place. Here, stretching of rubber band is a only physical change. Breaking down of ozone to oxygen, it is a chemical change. New substance will be forming. And burning of candle, we will see this option later. Option D, cutting of log of wood. If you cut wood into 2 pieces, again it will convert into 2 wooden pieces. There is no a change of chemical change. Whereas burning of candle, it will a physical change. After if you heat that, it will convert into air. So that will change in the production of some gases. So that's how it will be a both physical and chemical change. So the question number 13, for question number 13, the correct option is option C, that is burning of candle. So then we will move on to the question number 14. Why are iron objects is coastal areas more susceptible to rusting compared to those in deserts? So this is one of the application question. You have to note down this. The presence of salt in seawater accelerates. So that is nothing but fastest the rusting process. So the presence of salt in the seawater fastens the rusting process. The correct option is option B. Then after question number 15, if a slice of an apple, potato or brinjal is not consumed immediately, it acquires a brown color. This change classified as, there is a change of color. So there is some chemical change is occurring. So the correct option is what? Option C, chemical change because of new substance are formed. There will be new substance will form. So I think all of you have experience this. So if you cut an apple, if you keep it in your table or somewhere, after sometimes it will be appearance of brown color, right? So that is a reason due to a chemical change. So the correct option is option C. Then we will move on to the question number 16. Which statement about the process of obtaining crystals of pure copper sulfate is true? In the previous question also I explained the obtaining a crystals. So it is nothing but a physical change. So physical change, it is a physical change. It is called as crystallization, where pure substance of copper sulfate is obtained from their solution. If it is in the solution phase, it will comes to the solid phase through the process called crystallization. It is a physical change. Dear student, the product P is, so in the reaction they given carbon dioxide is reacting with calcium hydroxide to give a product P and water. I already discussed the reaction in the previous questions that when carbon dioxide is reacting with calcium hydroxide. So you will get the product P as calcium carbonate. So you will get the product called calcium carbonate, in which you are like to the lime water, you are supplying the carbon dioxide, you are adding the carbon dioxide, you will get the product calcium carbonate, which will be the reason for the appearance of milky color, milkiness in the lime water. So the correct option is calcium carbonate, that is option B. So I hope this question is clear for all of you. I thank everyone for attending this session, and I suggest you all to take our Nmms test series. It will be definitely help you all to score high marks in your Nmms examination. Keep watch our videos and keep supporting us. Thank you. Have a nice day.